everyone, and welcome. My name is Catherine Wilhoit. I'm with Oklahoma Career Tech Counseling and Career Development Division as the Career Development Coordinator. And today we are going to be going over the admin side of Tutor, specifically for tools and resources. And so if you want to go ahead and pull up your admin account, that would be great. You can walk along with me as we go through this. So you will see the Tutor Administrative Database Management System pop up on your screen right now. And so feel free to walk along with me as we go through this. Now, it will show you the homepage when you log in. You may be familiar with that already, but just in case you are not, it will look like this initially for you. We are not going to go through reports or administration today. Those are going to be two separate trainings. If you need help with those, we are happy to serve you for those. I will show you how to sign up for the trainings if you are interested at the end of this session. But today, we're going to focus specifically on tools and resources. So we're going to focus on these two boxes here on the left column, and then we'll move into the ADMS tools. And so just to start, I want to point you to our curriculum resources. Now, you'll see Director Future and lesson plans both here. However, instead of using it here, I'm going to point you to our CTYOU page. So it is CTYOU.org. And this is going to give you access to individual lesson plans for each grade or for each subject. And it's going to give you Director Future modules broken down by lessons. So I'll show you that as we walk through this. So once you get to CTYOU.org, you will scroll down and you will find Counseling and Career Development. Now, one thing I want you to know is if it pops up and says you must log in, please know that you are not required to log into this site whatsoever. And so I would just have you go straight back to CTYOU.org or just refresh the page and it'll bring you straight back here. So again, we're going to go to Counseling and Career Development. And then you will see two available courses. So Galaxy, of course, is for our elementary students. And then we have our Oklahoma Career Guide curriculum for our pre-ICAP and ICAP students. And so you'll see we start with middle school, 6th grade, all the way to 12th grade. And then you will see Director Future curriculum and Tutor curriculum right under both middle school and high school. So we pull up middle school. You're going to see it broken down by modules, and then you'll see it broken down by lessons. So 5 different lessons, more than welcome to access those. And it's easy because you can just download the entire folder and steal what you want, or you can download one individual PDF as you go along, whatever you need. Same with high school. So if you go to Director Future and Tutor curriculum under the high school tab, you will see Director Future modules right here. And then you will see it broken down by subject. So again, very useful to just go straight to CTYOU.org and find it there. But again, you're more than welcome to download it here too, whatever is easiest for you. Then we're going to talk about our Tutor products. So just real quick, I'm going to run through these. The first two that you see, so our individual login instructions and then our administrative login instructions. The individual is going to walk the student through how to register for an OK Career Guide account. So this is very helpful if you're not as familiar with it, if you're new to this, or if you're trying to walk a student through it and they can see the visual steps of how to create a login. Our administrative login instructions, I am going to go ahead and open that for you so you can see that this is if you have another administrator, teacher, or counselor that needs access to our system on the admin side. They are welcome to have an account made. However, you do need this information right here before you can create an account. So please contact us or contact Tutor Client Engagement, and we can help you get that information so that then you can go and create an admin account for whoever you may need it. And so then we have our frequently asked questions. Feel free to read through that if you need to. Now, curriculum manager is something that we are not going to cover today. However, if you feel like you need help developing curriculum for your students' Oklahoma Career Guide accounts, we can definitely help you with that. Developing their ed plans can be specific and tailored to your student and your students and your curriculum, or we can show you what the state uses and help you break that down. So please reach out to us if you need help with that. The other thing we have is a quick guide. And so when you check out our quick guide, it is essentially the same two things that you saw at the top. So our individual login instructions and our administrative login instructions are on this same page right here. So always helpful if you need that information in one page. And then down here, this is great to show your students or even parents what your student is going to be doing, because it discusses down below what the interest assessment is, what the confidence assessment is, and work values assessment is. And you'll also see how long it takes on average to do each of these assessments. So it doesn't take a ton of time to do all three of these in combination, especially when your students have to do them every year. I also like down here that it breaks it down by middle school versus high school. And you'll see there's less on the middle school just so that they get an introduction to OK Career Guide and kind of understand what are the different tabs and things like that and how they're broken down. And then 9th through 12th grade, so our high schools, have a lot of access to a lot of different things on OK Career Guide because they're starting to work towards meeting their ICAP requirements before they graduate, as you know. So, and then we have our parent site map, also very helpful, and it walks you through down here more of the ADMS reports at a glance. And so I think this is a very helpful quick guide document if you need it, because it kind of breaks down each little thing step by step. And then we have our next steps overview. Now, you're more than welcome to use this. It's a checklist essentially of tasks broken down by grade. And so when we open it, you'll see 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade tasks, and so forth. However, I'm going to refer you back to our CTYOU page, because you will see, for example, under 8th grade pre-ICAP curriculum, we have a checklist right here. And so when you open that, it's a checklist designed for that specific grade. I think this is really helpful because it's a pretty visual piece, but it's also got information down here on their username and password for OK Career Guide, and then they can put information down here as well. This can be helpful to keep for each of your students if possible, and then if they transfer to another school, you could send this information along to their next school so that they can keep track of their ICAP requirements. And so always helpful. We have a checklist for each grade. As you select each grade, you'll see at the top it has a checklist for each. So instead of using this, you could use our checklists that are more detailed and more broken out per grade. Now, I'm not going to go over Journey today, but it's very similar. I mean, it's essentially the same thing as what we just went over with Navigator. Now, again, our Navigator version is for our 6th through 12th graders, and our Journey is what we call our gray area, which is like grade 13 plus, so our adult learners. And so it's still got the same information here as you would see under Navigator. And then, of course, our quick guides are listed right here. Now, the final thing in this column that I want to show you is mass registration. So this is if you need to upload an Excel doc that has a mass list of your students' information as they register. And so that way it's just easy to submit that all at once. If you want to do it that way, you are more than welcome to. I am going to point us back again to CTYOU, because if we scroll all the way down to training materials and we click on the training manual, you'll see we have mass registration right here. We have the Excel sheet and we also have the PDF. And so the PDF, when we open it, it's going to show you, you're going to see the different highlighted pieces that are the important pieces that we want you to focus on. It'll also show you where to send it to after you have your Excel sheet completed. It also talks through, you know, if you have two students with the same name, they need to have separate names for their login, things like that. So keep that in mind that you can access it right here on CTYOU as well. All right, so now we are going to play around in the ADMS tools section. So the three things we're going to focus on in this middle column is posting a message, ICAP Oklahoma, and posting links. And so I am actually going to be logged into my student account so that you can see the student view of what they would see when you post a message, things like that. So let's start with that. So we'll click post a message, and we are going to do a new message. And I like this because you can break it down by grade. So if you were to click this little plus button, it would show you all the different grades you have. So if you need to send it only to our freshmen, you know, you can send it to them. If you need to send it to a specific ethnicity, like for example, maybe a local tribe is coming in to talk to the Native American students that we have, you can just select Native American. And then you can have it consider assessment results. So for example, if you're wanting to pinpoint a specific group of students that have a specific high pathway, like maybe they're high in art or something along those lines, you can specify based on the assessment. And then you can select the date range here. So I'm just going to do a test, and then I want you to also see that you can post it to students only, but you can post it to parents only as well. So if you are, for example, wanting to send out information about a parent night, you can send it to just parents or to parents and students. You'll see that third option as well. So I'm going to go ahead and post that. And then I'm going to go to my dashboard and show you what this looks like for the student view. So you'll see a little green one on the messages. So that's where students are going to go and find that message that you just sent. And so it makes it easier to read. I'm going to go back to the admin page and go to current messages. And I'm just going to delete that. Makes it really easy. And then it's automatically deleted from their side of things as well. So now it is no longer in their messages. And then moving past that, I want to show you ICAP Oklahoma. This is a piece that I think is very helpful because you can base this based on the grade and what they see on their career guide side. And so you'll see you can do a specific grade. So I'm going to select all just so that you can have that option if you want to, if you want them to all see the exact same things. Now you may be wondering, okay, well, where do they see this exactly? If you didn't know, we do have that ICAP Oklahoma tab. I'm sure most of you know that, but just in case you didn't, you can access this here. And they will see all these green little boxes, little tabs. And that way you can mark through as they go, as they're meeting their ICAP requirements. But the nice thing is you can select who sees what, like I said a minute ago. So you are welcome to deselect all of them. I'm going to select 9th grade. And I'm going to show you how, if we deselect address, it's right here under personal info, but now we're going to refresh it and you're going to see, oh, let me correct myself. Deselect address and make sure you click the submit button at the bottom. That's easy to forget. Now, when I refresh, you will see it went bye-bye. So now it's just got the phone number at the bottom. And so keep that in mind that you're welcome to edit whatever you want. So if you also don't want a student to see external assessments, maybe you don't need your 8th graders to see their external assessments, for example, we can select 8th grade. You can mark that out. Again, make sure to submit. And then if I go to 8th grade and we let it load, you will see for 8th grade that box is no longer there. They will not have the external assessments view anymore. So I think that is really nice because then you can tailor it to who needs to see what. So I'm going to make that viewable again for all grades. But again, you go to ICAP Oklahoma under Tools and Resources and feel free to edit away to your heart's desire based on what you feel like each grade needs to see. And then we have the final piece in this middle column, and it's our posting links. So I'm not going to post a link for you all because I don't want it to mess anything up on our side, but where the student sees it is right here under recommended links. And so if you need to post, say, a scholarship opportunity or another portal that they have access to, whatever that may be, this is a great place to put it. So you put the link in, you'd label it whatever you want because the label is the description, and then they'll have the link. And so you'll see now that when they click whatever is loaded on here, it will lead them to that direct site. So again, it's even good for like if you're going to have a FAFSA night, parent night, scholarship opportunities, a tribal affiliation coming in to speak. Any of those can be good for both a message and a link. And you can freely go in and delete those however you would like. So that's really helpful, as you can kind of double team them with a message and with a link. Now, the very last piece I want to show you before we wrap up on this page is helping parents get involved. And so this is really nice because if you're going to have a parent night or you're going to have a parent-teacher conference, you could show them this information when they come to visit you. Now, I really like the parent guide because it gives them a lot more detail about what their student is doing in Oklahoma Career Guide. So down here, it's more of a visual, more of a graph, and you'll see it starts with 1, ends with 7. But then down here, realize that career choices must be made as number 1, and it breaks it down step by step of what that means and what we're trying to teach them. It also shows their 6 career fields and then our 16 national clusters. I will add, we actually have a 17th cluster. It's our energy cluster, and it's not on this page, but we do have an energy cluster. And even better is it describes each one of those clusters under here. So I really like that because then when a parent sees their students' results, they can go and read a little bit more about it on their parent guide. So really enjoy our parent guide. I think that's a really helpful tool. We also have a parent flyer. And so if they are not as familiar with Career Guide or they haven't set up an account yet, this shows them how to get access to it and why it's beneficial for them to see their students' results. And then finally, parent letters. So this is for the parent to understand before the student takes their pre-assessment and then after the student takes the pre-assessment. And I even like it because when you open it, you can edit it to have your school's information and your own information down here. So, and you can type in it, do whatever you want, change it up, whatever works for you guys. And so keep that in mind that parent letters, along with the flyers and the guide, could be really, really good resource to at least introduce parents to what Career Guide is and what they're going to be doing over the next however many years that they have until they graduate. And then finally is our Career Planning Parent Night Kit. I love this because it at least gives you something to start with if you've never done a career planning parent night, or if that's something that you want to implement or work towards, or if it's something that you've done but you feel like you could make some changes to it and you didn't know this was out there. I like that it even has like social media messaging and things like that. So please use this, steal these materials. We want this to be something that you find useful and that you don't have to create the wheel, right? So any of these are helpful for you. Please reach out to us if you need help with anything under tools and resources. We're happy to walk you through that based on your own school's needs. Now, the last thing I want to point out on this page is our client engagement services. So you can chat with them, and it usually only takes a minute or so. So if you have a quick question and you don't feel like emailing or calling us, you can just chat with them and they can answer your question quicker than what it may take to email somebody. So feel free to just play around in that, ask questions as you go. The final thing I want to show you before we wrap up is our specific website. So if you go to educators on our Oklahoma Career Tech Educators tab, Counseling and Career Development, you will see a Contact Us, and this is a great place to reach out to any of us if you have questions. Here's my contact info. And then I also wanted to show you under OK Career Guide, if you click the arrow, we have trainings right here, and we have quite a few coming up. We have a Galaxy training in person on June 2nd. We also have a beginner OK Career Guide training that same day, as well as transitioning students out of the system in person. So we'd love for you to join us on June 2nd. We will be at Oklahoma Career Tech, and we will send out information based on who registers. We'll send you parking info, map info, all of that. But I also wanted to point out that we have a reports training. And so this will be more of the reports tab side, which a lot of you have questions on. We're offering it twice on May 4th. So if you can't make the 9 a.m., we do have an afternoon. But if you can't make that, we can specify individual time for you. So keep that in mind. We also have an ICAP Solutions later in August, mass upload at the end of the summer. But if you need a customized training, fill out this training form. You will send it directly to Cynthia, and she will get it on our calendar, and we will make sure to come to you and help you with whatever you need. We can also do a Zoom, whatever is easiest for you. And so thank you so much again for joining us. Again, my name is Catherine. You're welcome to reach out to us anytime you have questions. We love to help you. And so please be in touch. If you need anything, holler at us. Hope you enjoyed this training, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.